And a replay on the run into turn one. That was contact, and that was what happened to Clement Schmidt. Tried to get up the inside into turn one. So it was the start of the lap, and two did not, I'm afraid, quite fit. Just gaining a place down the inside there. And there, a replay of what happened, I'm afraid, to Dev. Some contact, and Bortotti controls the pace, but he doesn't get off the line very well at all. There's some contact, there's some body work. Lucas Auer is in front, and Bortolotti is going to drop down to 4th or 5th place here. He's going to get through himself back into a podium. And the big victim will come around the outside of him, but can't do so. Fraga is having to work very hard to keep Lucas Auer behind for 3rd and 4th positions. And I'm afraid there's carnage behind. A couple of others got through and passed him. It was a good start for Lawrence Van Teur off the line as well. He tucked in behind Fella, and then there was contact. This is off the start, goes from 6th to 4th, looking for his 2nd podium in the series. That's one of the SSR Performance Porsches that's gone off. Is it Van Teur? The race. This might be the incident that involved Kelvin van der Linde. I reckon we're going to say, first of all, it was for Philippe Eng, who did make a good start to the race, and then that's Kelvin van der Linde going out wide through the gravel trap. And a long, long way. Decent result. And what we've got here, running out wide, a replay. Whoa, 4 wheels off the air. Airborne completely there. And a point for 3rd. And Felipe Fraga's Ferrari on fire. He gets out very rapidly, thank goodness. And the back of the car completely up in smoke. So his weekend goes from bad to worse. And very calmly, but very quickly. And that was the cloud of smoke I was talking about, from you can see from the aerial shot, which is now dissipated. So a drama here, which has stopped these Team Winward Mercedes. So these 3 young guns all together, but running way out wide, and over the bumpy gravel goes Tommy Preining. The young Austrian in the Porsche is going to lose a place here to Kelvin van der Linde, who dives up the inside of 1, 2, 3 cars. Side by side he goes with the Mercedes of Maximilian Gotz through the gravel trap. I'm afraid under steering has gone the Porsche of Tommy Preining, and has to wait. And a replay of kicked the one of the tyres of SSR Performance out of the way. Good catch though. That's when he came in to make his pit stop. Catch. Knock-on effect. That right rear look. Get a replay. All on his own. Span it away around a couple of times into the gravel trap at high speed. Gravel trap just getting the job done. He actually got to the end of that gravel trap. At quickest. Replay of Marco Wittmann having a wide moment there. Very wide. Just about. Keeps it out of the wall, goes all the way through the gravel trap, rejoins right in front of the Schubert Motorsport BM. Carrying onboard camera. Arjun Miney having a coming together as well on the first lap of the race with Rolf Inischen, who, yes, has dropped back to 24th. Gained a place just behind in 5th position. Lucas Stoltz dropping back 1 as well. So Ricardo Fella, Felipe Fraga, great high shot there. Looking down this first sequence of corners through the lap, through Tamburello, then through Variante Alta, and then down to Tozer, and drama in the background, and that is Dev Gore, David Schumacher, and one of the SSR Performance Porsches. It's just in the wrong place at the wrong time from that angle on the outside. There's the contact that sent him around. Arjun Miney got delayed in all of that as well. Preining got delayed and had to go onto the grass. And when they're all so evenly bunched up together, God, look at that, great reactions from David Schumacher. He had a split second to think about that. So right rear punch into Tamburello, and there later on we found out that 2 didn't fit into 1, and the Audi it was of the 3-time champion, now 25-time race winner in DTM, René Rast, that ended up in the gravel and with a puncture to boot. So that's the end of the race for him, for Preining, for Inischen. Buch and Van Teur in the pits at the moment. Devgore did come moment. Miney just behind, and then in 5th place, Ricardo Fella was leading the race early, and Felipe Fraga has dropped down the order, and it's smoke coming from the back of the Ferrari because somebody's giving him a hit, I think. So he, I'm afraid, has tumbled down the order, and it looks again like damage to the back of the car. Goes through the gravel trap because he's probably got a puncture, and the car will not handle. This is a tale of woe continuing for Felipe Fraga. Intense clear of Lucas Auer. They're not catching him up. This is a really impressive performance from Dev. Oh, there's contact there between Schumacher and Zug, coming down into Rivazza, and then through the gravel trap goes the end up in glory for all of them, was it? And oof, bits of bodywork flying off there. It's the bonnet whipped off, is it? Or is it an under tray? Under tray, I think, whipped off.
because there's me saying, going to use every single piece of tarmac and concrete as well. Sometimes you can use just a bit too much. As here is Dennis Olsen getting a little bit closer than he would have liked to. Flying pretty nicely. Frank Pereira's trying to have a go, and so too is Arjun Maini all the way around the outside. Arjun Maini then a big bold move right from the start, and Arjun Maini and Frank Pereira make contact, and Arjun Maini has got around, and then there is a stack and queue of cars that all get involved. As Esteban Moot involved. Let's see what happened here. Oh my goodness me, that was a big hit from behind. And then another little domino effect. Frank Pereira, who's just going about his business, who had absolutely no involvement in that, but the sheer speed with which Esteban...
Another accident there, and say your thoughts.
Yeah, like, I think it's terrible, you know, like, I think we should all sit together and revise this restart thing. For me, it's the third time already, you know, like, we always there, we always fighting, and today I just braked in turn 1, I was already like P7. And then, like, when I go to the corner, I got a massive hit from behind from the BMW.
Driving from Riccardo Fella, and an unbelievable drive from Mirko Bortolotti, who's just been able to take advantage of everything as we see contact once again through the Scholleresses. This time it's Lucas Auer that is the victim with the front of his car ripped off. You know what that means, and I don't want to say it to you, and it's not the only incident. Sector 2 and in replay.
Yeah, I completely misjudged the braking spot into turn 1, and I went into the back of Riccardo. I'm so sorry for him that I also destroyed his race. Yeah, the cooler is broken now in the front. Water was leaked.
Long-term rival René Rast pushed hard for his 2 championship titles as he goes side by side through the corner, and big tank slapper there for the SSR Performance Porsche. Edmund Bogan, and there was the replay of what happened to Lucas Stoltz, and I fear he may have been tapped into a spin there. It didn't look like that was all his own work. I think there may have been some contacts, yeah, up the inside with the Mercedes as they went through the turn. It was also a race winner this year with his victory in Italy and Imola, and it looked like the Devgor incident was a coming together with David Schumacher there in the number 27 Winwood Mercedes. Winwood, one of the local teams here to the Nürburgring, and he really took over that curve, didn't he? That's a big high curve and a big drop-off, which would have 36, 37 degrees. But what a battle this is. Lawrence Van Tour with a great move up the inside, but he's clipped the back of René Rast. And Rast sent into a spin in the Audi. Keeps the engine running, drops 3. Reeling them in all the time, and Bortolotti has a big look at the inside contact, and Frager is sent into a spin. Bortolotti spins, and Shelton van der Linde has got the lead of the race from 3rd place. He whips past. There's play of an understeering Lamborghini for Clement Schmidt, who was up in the top 3 in one of the practice sessions on Friday. Couldn't get the car turned in, used the escape road, but then had to turn back in through the gravel, but it should be no harm done. Spinning around is the Ferrari. He clips the back of the Audi ahead, and then as Maro Engel comes back past him, and the spinning Ferrari then just glances his right rear tyre. So he almost got away with that. I see David Schumacher going slowly in front of me as well, and this is why. Is that really Rast off in the fleece? So Lucas Stoltz and the HRT team with that excellent stop here. Fantastic battle going on further back. Contact there, which involves Philip Eng, who was running 2nd before, trying to find a way back through. No, I think he's too much damage. He's out of the race as Marco Wittmer goes all through the gravel trap here and loses half a dozen places more than drops in. Weekend. And you've been impressed with the way Devgor, he said he's not there yet, but he's really made a big step forward since last year. He's not got many years. Outside here, he's maybe a bit too far back, or is he? Goes for it, goes for the move. There it is, there's contact again, and it's a left rear problem this time for Bortolotti, and he drags the... Yeah, it's just on those painted curbs.
Okay.
If you ever do a track walk and you walk on painted curbs around a racetrack on a wet day, you'll know just how slippery they can be. So, into one through a rouge, somebody's going to have to back off here, and it's probably not going to be Owen. There's contact and a big tank slapper for Thomas Preining. How he saved that, I'll never know, but it's killed his momentum through the corners. And he was at a 90-degree angle going up Eau Rouge on the grass, which, remember, is soaking wet. But that gets to the hairpin first. He's still on the outside line there. René Rast will get back alongside him on the exit of the corner, and 1 or 2 through the gravel trap. Esteban Moot released, and this is going to be tight. And having to just back off the throttle a bit there was Alessio De Leda. And then we got Laurens Vanthoor coming out, and then there was, of course, Amato Ferrari. Absolutely delighted with that. His were all that kicked off in the background. I think Bortolotti was involved in that as well. Muller, by the looks of it, one of the SSR Performance Porsches. And Alessio De Leda also involved. Bortolotti in. Spot check through scrutineering for Thomas Preining, and then he goes into his garage. And Lucas Stoltz is in, and I think David Schumacher.
This turn now where you continue climbing through the right-hander. Jolly hard work. It's a real overtaking opportunity, and we can see a car already in, and that is the car of Clement Schmidt as a rounders.
Everybody else sent back into the pits with this red flag. But we've also got a 3-place grid penalty for Leon Kohler for exceeding track limits 4 times. We get a replay. That was a big hit, wasn't it? It just couldn't get the car stopped. That wet gravel will have compacted as well. And he just skittled across the top of it. There's a little bit of tarmac at the end of the gravel trap. Skittled across that and pretty much nose on into the barrier. So Michael Grenier, I don't think is going to be taking any further part in this session. Turn 2, the Munster turn, flat out, almost recovered it, a full 360, but then just snap oversteered as he straightened up through the gravel trap there for Nico Muller. And luckily he gets out of the gravel trap. So we saw him recovering a few laps ago. That was his moment. We also saw Mirko Bortolotti getting the power down, the back end going out on that Lamborghini Huracan, more than 500 brake horsepower. Around it went, and he just kissed the gravel trap. But Ace all over the curbs and dancing around is the Ferrari of Felipe Fraga, which sends him wide and into the gravel trap and possibly into the barrier. Does he keep it out of the barrier? I think he might have. He's on the escape road. Yeah, well saved, Felipe. He might just squeeze an extra lap out of it before the flag comes out. Right, we're going to get a replay now of presumably the Dev Gore. Restart, it says on the screen. Replay, and these conditions are so difficult. You turn in, the car just doesn't want to respond to you. And around, and you touch the accelerator and starts 15th. Replay of the dramas already on the formation lap, and even on the formation lap, spins are possible. The Eng BMW goes out wide, then cuts back in on the inside. Sheldon van der Linde going out wide and getting into a spin. The championship leader all the way around has to wait for to 4th. Arjun Maini is up to 5th place now for his best result of the season so far. And then you got Fraga going wide again here. It's going to spin into a spin for Felipe all the way around. Beautifully controlled, but he's going to lose Linda on the replay there. And that was very close to contact. We've seen from Felipe twice and Sheldon once in this race. You go wide, slick tyres. So Engel starting to come back into the picture now as Vanthoor tries to go around the outside, but doesn't. There's contact as Mario Engel comes up the inside of Laurens Vanthoor, classes into the Porsche. He's sent in. Dots now coming under fire on this. Arjun Maini in a spin in the background after contact into the barriers. And around goes the Indian driver. Huge damage to the back of the car. That doesn't look like it's going at full speed. Away they go on the way into turn 1. Marco Wittmann challenging for the lead of the race. Tries to carry the speed around the outside. Rennie Rast behind in 3rd. Contact further back there. Philippe Eng getting involved with one of the Lamborghinis, which might be Clement Schmidt. We've got another Lamborghini, which is Rolf Ineichen into the barriers. And side of Lucas Auer. And there, David Schumacher already had one save luck, and he was involved in a fight there around the outside of Nico Muller, and then as he tried to straighten it up, found Rolf Ineichen's Lamborghini. He goes 2nd, Rast is 3rd, but he's got Bortolotti barreling up the inside of him now on the brakes on the way to turn 8. He goes through the huge shunt behind, massive shunt there, and fireball as well. We've got 3, 4, 5 cars. Hit the inside of the barrier coming through into turns 8. And Ricardo Feller into Olsen. So actually, there was 2 separate incidents there. All happened at exactly the same time, but Ricardo Feller clipped the back of Dennis Olsen as just in front of him, this massive shunt between Preining and Schumacher. And then Maxi Boot got tangled up in that as well, Nick Cassidy as well, but bits of Porsche absolutely everywhere. And again, credit to the design and the strength of these cars and the safety of these cars that the drivers have been able to get out of that, because that was an horrendous looking crash. Then their best timed lap of the session is disallowed. Oh, just got ragged on the curbs there, and just couldn't hold the back end of the Ferrari. Linda went past the pair of them on the way into the next braking zone, and there is a replay of coming together involving Lucas Stoltz and Dev Gore coming out through into the gravel trap on the exit to the Mobile 1 curve up. And the 2022 DTM Championship title is going to go to Sheldon van der Linde. He's your champion, everybody. Fantastic.
Let's fucking go! Oh, yes, baby! Oh my God, we did it!
Wow, what a season. What a season he has had.